Hi everyone, so today I have volume 5 of Nanatsu no Taizai, or the 7 Deadly Sins. On the front cover we have Diane, Hawk, King, Meliodas and Elizabeth. Side, that's the back. Let's take the cover off. So this time on the actual book itself we have some artwork of Elizabeth when she was younger, I believe. Sides the same, and back. This volume will cover the Bzyel Fire Festival arc, and the location for this arc will be at this place. This is the Bzyel Rock. Anyway, let's look inside. This volume has 8 chapters from chapter 30 to 37 with an extra chapter or side story. And it's just like the previous volumes. Every single volume so far has had a side story that dwells into the past of some of the series' characters. Right, so continuing on from the previous volume, Twigo and Jericho, who want power in order to defeat the 7 Deadly Sins, are shown the corpse of a demon. And Hendrickson explains that this demon's corpse was found in the Fairy King's forest, and that its blood has enhancing qualities. Though hesitant at first, the two, who have some resentment against the 7 Deadly Sins, do drink the blood. If you do not remember who Twigo and Jericho are, Twigo is the person we met in chapter 1, or if you've been watching the anime, the Holy Knight we met in the first episode. Jericho is a soldier we met in the Bast dungeon, where Ban was being held. But anyway, going back to the story, the two then drink the demon's blood. Due to his incompatibility with it, Twigo explodes. However, Jericho survives and becomes a member of the new generation of Holy Knights. At this point, we realize that every member of the new generation of Holy Knights has undergone this kind of ritual, you could say, of drinking the demon's blood in order to enhance their power, gain even greater power if they didn't have before. Anyway, moving back to Meliodas and the rest of them. The group now arrives at Bzyel, and Meliodas almost speculates that this town holds information on the whereabouts of either the other members of the 7 Deadly Sins or the sacred treasures. If you don't remember, sacred treasures are the weapons of the 7 Deadly Sins. They are almost like conduits for the raw power that each member of the 7 Deadly Sins have. It concentrates their ability. Meliodas, Ban, King and Hawk decide to go in town to get this information, and Elizabeth and Diane are on house sitting duties. Meliodas and the others reach the market, and through an encounter with this old man right here, they are directed to a battling tournament. Meliodas and Ban, as you can see right here, are enthusiastic to enroll themselves into this tournament, and they do so. King gets enrolled as well, and he finds out that the main prize of the tournament is this weapon, this huge kind of battle axe, and we find out that this is actually Diane's sacred treasure. Right here, this participant tells Meliodas that a kid like him shouldn't really enter this tournament. He doesn't want Meliodas to almost degrade the quality of the tournament. However, he's stopped from doing anything by another participant, Howzer. We do find out later that Howzer is in fact a holy knight. We also see some other contestants, including the only female participant. And that's where this chapter ends, taking us on to chapter 31. Just before the preliminary rounds begin, the referee/commenter reveals the rules and the prize of the tournament. The rules are simple. In order to defeat your opponent, you either have to knock them out of the ring, render them unconscious, or make them give up. After the rules are explained, the preliminary rounds begin, and we find out that it is in fact a battle royale. A handful of contestants, including Ban Meliodas, and a young girl easily overpowers the rest, and only 8 contestants remain, and these 8 contestants move on to the main tournament. King just manages to advance to the main tournament due to his levitation ability. The reason is, this person here who took out most of the contestants in the battle royale in a single attack, right here, she unwittingly knocked King out of the ring. However, he did not actually fall out of the ring, as he did not come in contact with the floor, and thus he was still in the tournament. And quite a lot of people in the crowd and contestants, including Meliodas and Ban, said that King was cheap for using his ability like that. Anyway, it's not long before the remaining contestants draw lots to decide the matchup for the main tournament. The first battle of the first round begins with Matrona facing Griamore. This is the same Griamore we met in a previous volume. Griamore is the bodyguard / aide of Princess Veronica, Elizabeth's sister. The last time we saw him, he was completely covered in armor. The round that will follow next will be Howzer versus Taizai. The third battle would be Kane versus Old Fart. The reason why King is called Old Fart is because Ban registered King as Old Fart when they signed up. He registered Meliodas as Meliodas with a Z instead of an S. He registered himself as Ban with 2 A's rather than one single A. And he registered King as Old Fart. The last battle that will happen in the first round is between Meliodas and Ban. Something that seems like a battle that will happen in the final is going to happen in the first round. So that's something to look forward to. So the first battle of the first round is about to begin between Griamore and Matrona. The referee does say that Matrona has to remove her clothes, so she does. And we see her likeness to Elizabeth. Moving on to the next chapter, chapter 32. Just before the battle begins, everyone ponders on Matrona's identity. Who is she? She's wearing the uniform of the Bull Hat Spa, the same clothes that Elizabeth wears. Veronica and Graham knows that Elizabeth wears these kind of clothes, so they think, could it be Elizabeth? But no, it couldn't be. Elizabeth is a frail princess. How could she be this awesome warrior? Whatever the case, the battle begins, and as soon as it does, Matrona delivers a barrage of attacks, which are all rendered ineffective by Griamor's ability. He has the ability to use barriers. So he uses his barriers expansion in this kind of bubble or sphere form in order to push Matrona off the ring. Then we have a series of flashback of Princess Veronica and Griamor. Griamor then vows to protect Veronica at all costs and declares that he will humiliate Meliodas after he's through with Matrona. At this point, Matrona becomes enraged and in a single destructive blow destroys Griamor's barrier and knocks him clean out of the ring. Due to this powerful attack, it blows Matrona's hat off her and we finally see her face. At this point, both Ban and King believe they know who Matrona really is. So believing her identity has been discovered, she almost skips towards Meliodas. However, she is greeted by Meliodas' question, "Who are you?" Matrona is almost infuriated and punches him and leaves. King chases after her, and it's revealed that this person, Matrona, is in fact Diane. King goes on to ask Diane about Elizabeth's whereabouts, and that takes us on to the next chapter, chapter 33. A shrunken Elizabeth appears from Matrona's, or I should say Diane's, bosom. And it is revealed that when Diane and Elizabeth were in the forest looking for food and other items, they tried to capture a huge mushroom. However, in doing so, the mushroom released some kind of gas or toxin which caused both of them to shrink in size. With no other clothes, Diane wore Elizabeth's clothes, and Elizabeth hid in Diane's bosom. At this point, Diane, not wasting another moment, attacks Meliodas with her love. Meanwhile, while all this is going on between Meliodas and Diane, the battle between Taizai and Howzer is coming to an end. Howzer quickly overpowered Taizai and in one last attack, using his Holy Knight ability, sends him flying off the ring. It was only at this point that Meliodas and the rest realized that he was also a Holy Knight. Immediately afterwards, King, under the alias of Old Fart, battles Cain. Right here. However, both King and Cain are extremely weak. king, remember, wants to win this tournament in order to acquire Diane's sacred treasure for her. He sees no other choice but to use his abilities to defeat Cain. Cain senses something going on and swiftly defeats King. Meanwhile, as that battle is happening, Howzer learns from Griamore and Veronica that Meliodas with a Z and Ban with two A's are in fact members of the Seven Deadly Sins. Finally, at the end of this chapter, the final match of the first round is about to begin between Meliodas and Ban. That takes us on to chapter 34. Right. So the battle begins between Ban and Meliodas, and Meliodas delivers a punch in Ban's face, which causes Ban to remember the first meeting they had, and how Ban followed Meliodas and became a member of the Seven Deadly Sins. So after the flashback finishes, the two continue their battle, and they seem evenly matched, with Ban having an advantage in speed, but Meliodas his physical strength. This battle causes much damage to the rock that the battle was actually happening on. Right here you can see it caused the rock to split in half. At this point, Meliodas is about to gain the upper hand in this battle. However, when Meliodas delivers a blow to Ban, both fall to their knees. Of course, Meliodas, who hasn't suffered that much damage, is confused by this, and we see at this point that Ban has his fingers point towards Meliodas, having used his ability called Snatch, as we saw in the previous volume. Chapter 35 continues on with the battle between Ban and Meliodas. And we see throughout this chapter that Meliodas is getting his strength almost sapped by Ban. However, this doesn't stop Meliodas from still doing some kind of damage to this immortal being. This whole chapter itself is very awesome to read, and I can't wait to see it animated. Right, so where is it? It's about here, I would say. Yeah, here. So at this point, Ban has drained a lot of Meliodas' strength. And he is saying that he feels good having Meliodas' strength coursing through him. And he says right here how it would be having Meliodas' strength on top of his own. And he delivers an attack. However, Meliodas counters and completely blows Ban away. However, it does not knock him out of the ring. Seeing no other way to defeat Meliodas, Ban decides to sap all of Meliodas' strength. So much so that when Meliodas delivers a punch to Ban, it's nothing but a tap on the cheek. This chapter ends with Meliodas almost defeated by Ban. Now on to chapter 36. With Ban continuously draining Meliodas' strength, it seems like the victor of this round is clear. However, according to the rules, Ban is not victorious, as Meliodas hasn't given up, hasn't lost consciousness, and is still in the ring. Of course, Meliodas doesn't give up. And at this point right here, Meliodas proclaims that he will be the winner. Here we see Diane and King telling Ban to stop attacking Meliodas because Meliodas seems completely beaten. But Ban tells everyone to stay out of it and is preparing for the final blow. So he delivers the final blow. We see Meliodas receiving it, coughing up blood. A huge amount of dust. And we see almost someone being blown away here. The dust starts to clear and we see Meliodas smiling on his feet. And Ban is nowhere in the ring. At that point, Meliodas points to where Ban is, and everyone sees that Ban is far out of the ring, and that he got blasted into this building. So the winner of that round is Meliodas. Of course, a few people are a bit confused as to what has happened. However, Diane saw with her own eyes what really happened. Seeing those events in the flashback right here, we see that Ban did deliver that blow. Meliodas did cough up blood. However, as he was delivering that blow, Ban's wrist got crushed by Meliodas. And Meliodas' eyes turned black and a strange, almost black symbol appeared on his forehead right here. Somehow this gave him increased strength, vitality you could almost say, and he easily dispatched of Ban. The flashback ends and Diane then passes the shrunken Elizabeth to Meliodas, and you can see here that this captain of the 7 deadly sins, this apparently mighty warrior, has a perverted smirk or smile on his face. Now chapter 37 of Nanatsu Taizai. So now the first round is over, and the second round, the first battle of the second round, is about to begin between Diane and Howzer. The battle began, or so did the referee say, but Howzer doesn't attack and neither does Diane, as Howzer has an issue with Diane showing a bit of skin. So he waits with his pure heart for Diane to button up, and the battle finally begins. Howzer attacks with his ability, not holding back, thinking that she is that Matrona is also a member of the 7 deadly sins. He just doesn't know who. As the battle continues, we see that Diane is just dodging all of Howzer's attacks. she is not countering any of his attacks. She is not going on the attack. At this point, Diane gets trapped at the edge of the ring, and Howzer moves in quickly to deliver the final blow. However, Diane stops him and knocks him away. And she tells Howzer that the reason that she was not attacking him because she was trying her best not to damage or tear Elizabeth's clothes. Meanwhile, as this battle is happening, we see these two holy knights, Jericho and Gila, heading towards Bzyel. So a battle between these holy knights and the members of the Seven Deadly Sins at Bzyel almost seems assured. And that's where this volume ends. Yeah, on this last page of chapter 37, Diane is just saying that she didn't want to get Elizabeth's clothes ripped. And on this last panel right here, we see that her trousers is ripping. That's almost given us a sign that Diane is about to revert into her original form. This right here is the extra chapter or side chapter I was talking to you about. It's about Gila, a member of the new generation of Holy Knights. And it just talks about her story at home with her younger brother. And how she loves, protects and cares for her younger brother. So she almost seems to have a very nice personality, almost calm and loving person. But when she puts on her armour and becomes a member of the Holy Knights, she is a merciless person, as we see here. A spray of blood after she seemingly attacks these people. And that's where this extra or side chapter ends. Right here we have like some fan artwork from people who have almost come up with ideas on the cover of the volume. And as you can see here, there's a few of them, but the person who seems to have won this kind of small competition is this person here. And if I can just get the cover, you can see the similarity between the two. We have Diane with Elizabeth, Hawke and Meliodas, all almost climbing or on Diane, as we see right here. Anyway, that's it, yeah. Okay everyone, so that's volume 5 of Nanatsu no Taizai I've reviewed. If you've been watching the anime, you should know it's as good as the manga. I hope the action scenes will be even better, with a lot more fluidity, more scenes even, and it'll be interesting to see how far this anime will take us. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment. Bye.